What's up, y'all? It's Z-Rex. It's No Noise. We're live over on YouTube today because I am banned on TradingView because I put a Doge coin tip address in my description, which is pretty freaking lame. I don't know why they have that policy. So they literally ban me from everything. I can't message anyone. I can't post ideas. I can't post a stream. So if you've been wondering where I'm at, it's actually twofold. One, I did go on a trip and just got back earlier this morning from Big Bend. It's a really big park out in West Texas in the middle of nowhere. I did not have any internet. I couldn't do any streams or nothing out there. It's very isolated, super deep camping in the woods. Regardless, though, I come back to do a stream this morning, and I'm talking with chat, and they're like, oh, yeah, you have been banned for violating. And they even deleted like 6 of my streams or something, even though some of them still have the Dogecoin address in them. I guess I don't really know why they're being selective like that. It's kind of weird, so I'm messaging them. If not, we might just move over here to YouTube because there isn't any restrictions like that. It doesn't stream as good. And I'm already getting dropped. Oh, my God, dude. Ugh. Dropped frames are happening. Oh, well, I'm just going to have to plow through this. I don't really have any choice, and I got a lot of stuff to do, so we're just going to get this video out. It really sucks that TradingView is doing that. I don't like that. There's got to be a lot of streamers that are pissed off about that, too. Like, dude, why can't you put a tip jar? People want to send you a tip. That's fine. Why can you not do that? I don't know. That's really weird. It's whack. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's get into price action because we've been gone all week. There's been plenty of updates that we need to check out. And without further ado, let's get it in. And also, TradingView, what the hell, man? Come on. Come on. Trying to make it too... I don't even get the idea behind all that. Whatever. All right. Price action. Mama Bear, what's up? Mama Bear is bouncing nicely off of these lows. Very good off this 27,000 area, kind of off the looking left. Off of this price structure here, right off the Mama, right off the 55. So that's pretty decent. Now, the question is this just a little retrace? Look at that. We're already getting rejections from the 786 area. Is this just a retrace before continuation to the downside? Or do the bears actually have control here is the question that's on everybody's mind. Last week didn't close very good. I guess we haven't talked about that since we didn't do Monday stream. I left really early Monday morning to go out there, so we did miss that. We did have a pretty nasty weekly close, taking out the last month of business, so I don't like that. See if this week can close up above like 30K would actually be pretty good because then it would negate the seller's attempt by pushing this down. But this is definitely noteworthy that it engulfed that. We got this trying to get back above the 28K level, which is a really important pivot point. So it looks like we're kind of just battling around. No really momentum either on the oscillators. So this is a pretty tough spot for crypto, or for Bitcoin specifically. Just kind of nothing really has changed actually from the last video that we did on Friday. Surprisingly, we had this little dump fest on Friday right at the edge. It did end up turning out to be a decent buy the dip zone, but I don't know if I'm real confident that this is not just a continuation possibly to the downside. I don't like this candle here on the weekly. I don't like it taking out the last 4 weeks. That is not super good. That's like my biggest concern about this, and we're kind of lollygagging on the 618 retrace from here. Really like to see bulls get back above 30K by the end of the month. Speaking of the monthly, the one good thing is, and that's all on micro time frames that I'm speaking of too. So like on the macro time frames, it's still looking pretty damn good, and I don't see anything super concerning yet. And by macro, I mean like weekly and higher. So the weekly, we're still above the 21. Yes, I know I did mention this engulfing, but that's like shorter term stuff. We're still above lots of major support areas. And in the macro, I'm not really concerned until we either open and close below the 21 EMA on a weekly, or we just get back below 24,000. So that's kind of where I'm looking at on that. Let's see. I think that's all I wanted to say for Bitcoin. Just kind of rallying. It's looking all right so far from a bounce off of this, retesting the local kind of structure low there. Let's see at the, we're at 29,420. Hell yeah. Same kind of structure here. Nothing really to add to it. Let's look at the weekly because the weekly does close. So 27. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. Same kind of structure, though, as the spot price. Really need to get back over 30K. That would make me feel a lot better that this is just not starting to turn into distribution. That's my concern a little bit here. GBTC. Yeah, look at where GBTC has stopped. GBTC has actually stopped at the tops of this consolidation zone at about 16.5. So that's actually that's warranting some of my concern there for the micro. Really need to clear that 1650. Interesting. So that's a little bit different than spot price. You can see spot price is above all of this, but as we know, GBTC sometimes does some sneaky stuff and can lead the market in a way or give you like a little clue that maybe there's some fake outs. And there really isn't great Momo here. You're getting a lot of attempts by the bears to come in. So pretty interesting. Back to that monthly thing. Oh, yeah, to finish that thought. The monthly, though, if we still can close above this 27, like, what is that? 27.7-ish. So 27.7 would actually have an open and close monthly above the 21 EMA, which, if you'll know from the, let's go over here to, I believe it's this one. Yes, it is. Well, which is leading into this piercing performance, the PPP to the upside. And you can see every time that's happened, it's only been 3 other times other than the attempted one right now. And those were all bottoms. So this would signal that this is a bottom and we would have all the high time frames. Every single time frame up to a monthly would be bullish. So that would look pretty damn good. All right, let's go to Ethereum. Look at Ethereum putting in a Doge weekly, or sorry, monthly. That's interesting, right on the 21. Sorry, let's go to the weekly. Yeah, man, this is definitely tweezer tops here. Interesting. Let's go daily. Daily kind of struggling below this magenta candle of doom. Yeah, I mean, sub 1950, you definitely have to bring in some caution here for the bulls, as we're kind of, looks like we're trapped between this little upper 17s and right at 2K. So, interesting. And a big doji here on Wednesday on hump day, and we're still inside of that doji. Really need to get back above 2,000 bucks on this. Because if we start just lollygagging and trying to chip away on the lower side, you know, this could, as I mentioned earlier, could look like a distribution. So, and the monthly does not look as good on Ethereum as it does on Bitty Bits. Yeah, you can see it's just kind of indecision right there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, that looks decent. Man, this market's just been sideways as hell for like almost most of the year. I mean, yeah, it's up a little bit, but you can see most of the time we've just been going sideways as shit, less than 10% range, more sideways, and really we're only up about 16% from that consolidation there. Overall, though, it's just like Bitcoin above, upper 1700s, it's fine. Just like if it macro above 24,000, it's fine. The only thing I would change my mind is if we do start dipping below that mid 1700s area, then we could start questioning some of the bull's strength in Momo. Right now, though, it kind of is just liquidation break testing, and see if we can get back over 2K. Even back above like 1950 would look a little bit more better. All right, let's see here. What am I looking at? ETH, hey, this looks a little better than spot. We're above the 21. We're above. Let's see if you can even look at the monthly. Yeah, lots of resistance at like 2200 handle. That's definitely the next spot. You can actually see the rejection here, getting about 50 bucks shy from it. But overall, this is still okay. You got higher highs, higher lows, and we're kind of in agreement with spot price at about that mid 1700 level. At the very bottom of the range here, even poked outside of the range a little bit. So, man, you know, that's another slight notch for the Bulls, or sorry, the Bears, and potential Momo shifting. You'll know I don't like to take trades between the long and short-term moving average, and we're lollygagging on the bottom of this box. And, man, to be fair, like, we don't really lollygag too long on the bottom of this box, and we're just grinding back down this trend line. And one could argue this is a false breakout right here with this big, girthy magenta candle. You could make a decent argument that this is a false breakout and that we're getting price acceptance below this range. And you could make a pretty decent argument that this wants to come test the upper 70s. So, very interesting there for crypto on Litecoin. All right, let's go to Ethereum Classic outside of the range. Man, you know, this actually is pretty bearish. Damn. It just doesn't have DMI strength. That's the only thing that it doesn't have. But look at this. The EMAs are in chronological order even. They're all sloped back down. We're camping outside of the range. We're camping below price looking left. I mean, maybe you could say this is probably a 618 area. Yeah, it's 618. But, man, this thing gets below 1910 again. Let's zoom in a little. Yeah, about mid, like 1920 even. We start getting lower time frame candles below 1920. This thing probably does go down to 17 again. So, pretty interesting. And we're struggling on a lot of these altcoins. I haven't looked at charts in a few days, but just being out in the woods or whatever. But, man, yeah, we're below 48. 48 was kind of the number we were looking for. We are trying to find support on this first little pump in the 55, so that's okay. That's not terrible. So maybe about 44 could be like a newer base, but overall, starting to be a little bit concerning, no doubt. This one's okay. It's just camping on top of all this consolidation. I don't really hate this one as much because it's already kind of deep retraced back to that lower nines. Not too shabby. Tron, Jesus Christ, Tron. Literally, absolutely nothing has happened in Tron for, what is that, 2 months now? Cool. So same shit. There's literally, y'all can clearly see that range, right? Dot. Oof, nasty. Barely holding on to the 200, but we're just lollygagging. This is starting to accept price with a little Doge. It looks like there's a bunch of Doges on Wednesday for whatever reason. And indecision Wednesday there. Kind of a little bit heavy below 6.09. Hell yeah. So, interesting, man. Broke this trend, but we're kind of just hanging out on the tops of all the this year's business. So, not too crazy. It would have to lose 38 cents for me to get real concerned on ADA. Man, another little tweezer candle, though, like Ethereum has. Interesting. So, it's starting to look really bullish and awesome. And then last week said no, and then we got no follow-through or really good defense by the Bulls so far. Interesting. Link Marines back in the middle of range. Boring as hell. Jesus Christ. It's been in that range for a year now. EOS selling off here pretty hard. Man, last line here is about $1. We can't hold $1. It's probably going to 80 something. You know, we got this little weak-ass attempt from a high, struggling underneath this line. I mean, and Bears came and got the reins. I mean, even below like 110, this actually looks kind of heavy, man. Another little Doge on Wednesday. BCH right outside of the freaking box. Any lower than here probably can test these lows easily at 107, you know, 105, something like that. And then back below, 100, it goes into its effed mode pretty much. BSV chilling sideways, kind of a sloppy pattern, just no love. Didn't even get really no pumpage from a couple of weeks ago. And actually looks a little bit heavy below 35, but, it's like that real tight range. I mean, the moves coming out, I know I've said this a few times, the moves coming out of this consolidation are going to be gigantic, y'all. Like, really gigantic. XMR just lollygagging here between the short and high time frames. It is okay above this trend line and this little cluster-ish about 150, but, man, pretty nasty. Zcash, Metcash, whatever. I mean, I just don't really like these themes. We didn't get bulls haven't attempted this whole week to really do anything. They're just kind of chilling. Dash, another 200 moving average consolidation for this week. I mean, it's right on the middle of all this business, so that's okay. And you could argue this is an H pattern right here. So I have kind of seen a couple of these sloppily drawn. So there's about an H pattern. So this level right here at about 46 bucks. If it broke this 46 and change, we could probably look for a move to test down somewhere in here in the mid upper 30s. But H patterns a lot of times are bullish. So what we look for this is, and I like them too because they break down or negate themselves very fast. So it's like this. You're like, oh, crap. If it keeps getting down here a little bit, then this target becomes very realistic. If not, and this lollygags for just a little bit longer, it only probably needs another few days. And if that happens, this turns into, because then it won't really look like an H. No one draws an H like that. Probably even by this weekend, you could negate that H-type looking pattern. But what we're looking for is this to kind of dribble up. And then once it gets back above this top part of the H hump, then that turns into actually super bullish. And you can usually target the top part of the range, which would be over here. And I know I have a lot of lines drawn on there, but rewind it. That'll make sense. Doge. Back below 8. 7.5, man. Line in the sand. Line in the sand. Let's delete this to clean the chart up a little bit. I mean, it's still riding this trend line. We did not even make a higher high, though, on the weekly, so that's a little bit weak sauce. Couldn't even close a body above 9.2 pennies. Definitely a little bit shitty by Doge. But as long as it's kind of riding up this trend line, it's okay. But look at this compression, man. This is like all over the place. Between the 200, these moving averages, I mean, everything is super compressed. Kind of just working our way down here. We've got this established downtrend now on this guy right there. Haven't made a lower low yet on this 57-cent area. But again, back between long and short-term moving averages with no Momo on any of the oscillators. Pretty tough. They ain't making it easy now. Trying to bounce and be defended here at about 6 pennies on TrueFi. It is technically, let me see. Oh my God, it's like so close to making a lower low. I mean, that's pretty much even, but look at this, right between the 200 and the 21 and 55. I mean, this is a no-go trade zone for me. I will not initiate trades when they're right in the middle like this. I just don't like that. It's pretty much 50-50. Good support around mid 5 penny range. You start getting probably any time frame like to an hourly below 5.5 pennies, it's probably going to start to get real ugly. Nice move by Radix here. Sold off from the top of the range. Came all the way down to the trend line and the 21. Bounced very nicely off of that and has had a little bit of continuation. But look at this. No volume, guys. Zero volume. The volume has disappeared after this pump. And this is probably right at the 618 retrace. If we measure this, yes, it is. On the freaking money. So, sub 12 cents, I would say this one's very risky to hold below 12 cents because it could easily just go to 7. This thing moves a lot. It's not super liquid, so below 12 cents is a little bit risky because you could just go down 40-50% like quick. So I want to see it get comfy back above 12. Then we can start talking, you know, breaking out of the top side of this box at 16.9. Yeah. Oh, man, Hex is breaking down, too. Nasty. Last line of support is about that low fives where we've been watching like a hawk for this guy. Is this a rebuy zone? I don't know, man. It's looking a little tough. I'm going to stay hands-off, plus I've been gone for the whole week, so we need to be around a little bit more to feel some of that price action, if you will. But look at this, back between 200 to 121 in the 55, right in the middle of it. No-go zone, man, for me. V-chain, right at the bottom of range. It's pretty much this same pattern. We either have this between these long and short-term moving averages. We have it right on the bottom of ranges in the 200. We're just not, it just sucks like we've just been ranging for a long time with no follow-through really from, you know, earlier in the year when we got all that excitement. All right, let's see. Adam is actually attempting another breakout here. Okay, so this is different. So, okay, we found something that's trying to be bullish. It has that consolidation pattern at the looking left that we've been seeing across the board. We did get the false breakout, but we already tested the other side of range really quick. We're coming back out. As long as this is actually above 1120, I don't hate this chart. This is actually the best chart probably that we've looked at so far today. Obviously, there is major resistance at about 12 bucks, but yeah, above 1120, this actually looks better than other stuff. Osmos just can't, it's just going sideways and more sideways. Blah. It's pretty much been down here. There was the same price in 2022 in June, so almost a year ago. It's pretty much done nothing. I guess at least it hasn't sold off a whole lot more, so that's something. Ton, Telegram, what are you doing? Uh-oh, breaking dust trend line. But again, look at this, between the 200 and the shorter term moving averages. These suck. This area sucks because it's like, I don't want to say 50-50, but the moves usually come out of here can get violent and go real quick, man. And it's hard to kind of judge which way the market, Mr. Market, will take those. We do have to lean a little bit bullish on this chart specifically, just because it's had a lot of good momentum for a while, like a year now. But today is actually threatening to make a lower low, and that's at about 220, which is that level we have been talking about a lot. So if this daily, we got 6 hours left, but if this daily tonight closes below 220, and then we get an open and close below that tomorrow, that would kind of suck. That would start threatening some of the intermediate structure. All right, ES, though, is pumping. Wow, what a pump. We got a little dump Tuesday, looks like, caught. Hey, man, well, this is actually good for crypto. If normie markets can stay bid, that will actually help crypto a lot. Looks like we're testing the upper range of the 4100 handle. But, man, that 4100 handle is still showing that it is no freaking joke. And we've been mentioning that on the show for a long time. Most of this year, that below 4200, hell yeah, of course it's a meme number, that, you know, you can't get super excited yet, because that is super, uber mega resistance. And that's just for a recap, looking at these bodies and all these monthlies for almost a year have been at this same level. So, is that enough consolidation sideways to pull us out of bear mode? Very well could be. We get a few days above 4,200. I think we easily see 44 to 45. All right, let's see what NASDAQ's doing, because I literally haven't looked at any of these in a while. Man, right back up to these highs. Interesting. Okay, so 13.3. Look at that. We got caught right at that level, and we've been eyeballing like a hawk, that 12.7, 12.8 area. We get bid right off of that, back up to 13.3. We are stalling right beneath it, but that's a pretty good reaction. That is seller rejection by the bulls, and we get over 13.3 on this chart. We could look, man, wow, we could look for, I think, easily 13.6, and that literally opens the door to like this 14, mid-14s. So Maybe that's a pretty big move. Interesting. I like this hammer weekly that's about to print in a few hours. I like this. This is great engulfing candle right here. Seller rejection. I mean, this is nice. Staying in the box. It just needs to clear that 34.2 area, and we can be looking for our next little range, which would be all the way up here at about 35.7. The one concern that's still concerning is RUT. Yes, it is rallying today, but look what it's doing. It's just still getting worked by this trend line, by the 21. It bounced off 1740s again. How many times can it bounce off this thing before it dies is my question. Weekly still very bearish below the low 1800s. Yeah, like literally how many more times can this thing bounce off of there? It is pretty interesting because it's only been, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, I don't know, 20, something like that. A lot. Whoa, this is very different than the rest of the market. It's, I mean, not very different, but it's like well below its structure. Definitely made a lower low here on the structure. We're still below the range. Below 14.2, it still looks pretty damn heavy. Let's zoom out. Yeah, interesting. Weekly, not as bad. But this daily, man, sub 14.2. Not very good. Not very good. DAX. Wow, DAX is making a local high here, just barely. Nice. Shit, okay. Seller rejection again, man, off of a nice girthy candle. Not like hammer-esque, but, I mean, that's really, actually looks really good above about 15.9. Actually like that chart. Shanghai coming back out. Look at that. Failed breakout. Test the other side of range. Come back up. Man, this market is being very mean to people, especially if you're like a hodler or an investor. For traders, this is really good, but for longer term, like for shorter term traders, it's really good. For longer term traders, this is very frustrating because you're watching your P&L go up and down all the time. You're like, oh yeah, I'm up a little. Crap, I'm down a little. Oh, I'm up a little bit. It's just very brutal. All right, I need to wrap this thing up. It's already been long enough. VIX, dump fest. Oh man, look at this. VIX, come to the underbelly of the trend line. Maybe we are about to go into bull land. But the only thing that's weird is why is VIX futures so much higher? I mean, they're like $2.50 difference, or 40, whatever. But hey, we are finally breaking down here, so maybe the bulls are about to come, and that would be very good for crypto. That could, if like normie markets break out of these ranges and start to get a little more bullish, that probably carries over to crypto, and we could easily break, you know, like 31,000 on Bitcoin. Oh, look at this $100 level rejected like the Jesus man. Look at that, 1, 2, 3 attempts rejection. So, all right, that's interesting. Gap is filled on oil. We're at the bottom end of this range. Already bounced up a couple bucks off of that. Pretty nice. But in this range, it's just range bound until it ain't. That's pretty much how oil is at this moment. Look at this. We actually are getting a little bit of love on nat gas. We were talking about that last week, that this is different behavior than we've seen for a while, for months now. And it looks like it is trying to attempt breakout here. Above 230 looks pretty good. We got a lot of resistance at 269. Oh, yeah. Above 269, I think we would probably take this out and probably test up here at around 320. Bonds just sideways as hell, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that one. It's just range bound sideways. Let's go to gold. Gold not getting no follow through. It's okay as long as it's kind of holding this upper 19 area. Really like to see it above 2K. It is really struggling the last week or so to sustain above 2,000. Lost a lot of the momentum too on the daily this week on both oscillators. Let's go to the weekly. Still got it on the weekly. About the 3 hour. I don't usually go this low on the 3 hour. I just don't like low time frames on precious metals. Anyway, though, above about 1980-ish, it looks pretty decent. Really want to see 2K though. I don't like this kind of lollygagging shit here. And like, look how many days the Bulls have had to be able to get above there, and they're not able to do it. So, silver, same shit, different day above 24.20. I don't care about shorts or bears at all. So until it's back below 24.20, then we can start talking about that. Palladium ran real hard, getting a little bit of a rejection here, but look where we're finding support so far. Right on this trend line, 21. We did make a new high on daily structure, on the intermediate structure going back to last summer. So that's pretty good. Next major resistance is about 1200. Looks like this is kind of just grinding up the mountain here. Palladium getting smacked down. Okay, interesting. But look, is this just a retest of this saucer pattern right here? Very interesting spot for possible re-entry on this, because your risk is very well defined. You get back below this little swing low at 1400, then you can probably kiss that position goodbye and look for much lower prices. And how much lower? I don't know. Let's see. Shit, like 1100 and change, so that's pretty brutal. All right, GDX. GDX looks fine. I like this little consolidation right above this local high, right on the 21. I like that. Oscillator still got Momo. Looks pretty good. A little deeper on juniors, but that's to be expected. They're a little bit more volatile, but still pretty decent above this trend line. Don't really hate it until it's below 38. And let's look at sector majors real quick. Man, very green day today. Everything is awesome. Oh, snap, y'all. Okay, this is definitely new news. All right. So XLF has the major big banks. They defended this 32 and change level very well. That's not too shabby. Let's go to some of the regionals. Not too bad, but look, we're still pretty bearish in the formation. Bears have the momentum. We're below all this. We're below the target range. So sub 37.30 doesn't look great on this, but look at this one. This is concerning. You have an open and close below this range over here, and we're attempting to get back into the range right now. This is very interesting. That's lower lows, lower highs. Man, is that signaling some potential further weakness in regional banks? Possibly, man. This actually looks pretty damn heavy below 43.50. All right, I think that's it probably for today. Yeah, because I got a bunch of stuff I need to go start getting done. Let's end with this, with our Bitcoin miner index. I do like this retest to this looking left on price. I do like this at about this 320 level, bouncing off that back above the trend line. This looks like a pretty good just liquidation break for a continuation to the upside. Looks like we do have a pretty decent resistance at about 369. Above 369. Probably can get a good attempt at taking these little local highs out around 400-ish. See what Coors is doing. Oh, look at that. Coors is kind of chilling. Is this bitch going to get pumpy? Probably. If Bitcoin gets back over 30K, this thing probably does go to 80 or something close to 80. All right, that's it, guys. Wrap up Bitcoin. It's okay. I kind of like this reaction so far, but there is definitely resistance up here. Looking left, I mean, obviously on the large chart, you can see on the long-term chart, all this business that got caught before. Previous support becomes resistance. So that is no joke. We rallied pretty much right to it at 31 flat roughly, and we got rejected once. But, one candle, two candles doesn't really make a trend change. We'll see if they get continuation. We get back below 27K, though. I think testing 24 is easily in the cards. And conversely, getting back above this local high, this Doge at about 30,400 or so, probably gets us into the mid-upper 30Ks. So, Ethereum, really would like to see it get back above that 2K level. Kind of like gold needs to do and maintain. But as of now, we're just kind of making higher highs, higher lows on the daily with a little bit of concern It's not fully warranted yet unless we keep camping down here for another week or so. And again, next week we will have the monthly close, which will be very important to see how that finishes off. And that will be what? Oh, snap. That's actually Sunday. So that's 2 days. Maybe since I was gone for a little bit, we'll do a little special Sunday stream to follow up on that candle close. All right, guys. Much love. I'll see y'all on Monday for sure. Possibly on Sunday evening, though, as well, for a little pop-up monthly close stream. Much love. Hope y'all guys had an awesome week. I had an awesome week down in the woods. It was a good little release from the rat race, if you will. So much love. I'll see y'all guys in a couple of days. Have an awesome weekend. Happy Friday. It's been Z-Rex, No Noise, out. Peace.